Thank you, Gwen, for the introduction. And I'm going to start with a sobering thought. In the last 3.5 weeks, the venture exchange is down 25%. That means every company presenting in these 2 days is down 25% on average in 3.5 weeks. You would think copper's maybe $2 a pound, iron ore is $50 a ton. No, copper's $4.15 a pound. Iron ore is $140 a ton. Zinc's $1.60 a pound. So there's a real disconnect which is going on in the market, which I haven't seen in my career before. So bottom line is I think this is a great buying opportunity to get into these companies that are presenting over the next few days. So a little bit about myself. I'm a BC boy. I'm a metallurgical engineer. I was an investment banker for 10 years at Haywood and Raymond James. One of my best clients, Altius Minerals, decided to write a check for me to start Adventus about 5 years ago. So what is Adventus? We entered Ecuador in late 2017. We took an exploration project to now a stage where we're the only company globally in the copper development phase, and in particular the pre-construction phase. So we're starting construction this year on the most economic copper development project in the world. So through these 5 years, we've raised over $100 million in equity, and we did a $235 million project finance package with Wheaton Precious Metals and Trafigura in January. So we have 10 million tons at 5% copper equivalent, primarily open pit. So you hear all of that, and you think, well, we're probably a multi-hundred million market cap company. Well, that's not the case. After all of that, we're an $85 million market cap company. We're trading at half of our first year's attributable free cash flow. That tells you something. So, as mentioned, we're just about to start construction in Ecuador. We completed our feasibility study late last year. We arranged financing in January. We have a very strong exploration portfolio in Ecuador, over 3 projects. This is a cash flow story. It's high grade, very good capital efficiency, and so this results in about 23,000 tons per annum copper equivalent production at very low cost, $1.26 a pound, all-in sustaining costs. We're just about to get our environmental permits. So Ecuador is a new mining country. There's some very strong mines in production right now, most notably Lundin Gold's Frutal Norte, and we're next. Everything is all about ESG these days, but in particular in Ecuador as a new mining country, we need to be top of the pack when it comes to ESG and our communities. The numbers that we're crunching show that this project could be the lowest carbon intensity copper mine in the world. How is that the case? We're connected to the national grid, which is primarily hydroelectric power, and being a very high grade, low footprint or small footprint project, our carbon emissions are very, very low per pound of copper produced. Very strong relationships with our communities. Our communities want this mine to be built. The government wants this mine to be built, and permits, as mentioned, coming imminently. So, give or take 85 million, 100 million market cap, with over 100 million in equity raised over the last few years and all the attributes I mentioned before. You can see the share price slide there in the last month or two. We raised 34 million in equity at 97 cents Canadian in January to fully finance this project to commercial production. We're trading at our all-time low of 52 cents right now. A bunch of brokers cover us. Average target price is about $1.70 a share. Again, we're 52 cents a share. Shareholder base. We've got some amazing supporters. You can see Altius there, just under 10%. Wheaton Precious Metals, Greenstone Resources, and probably our most important shareholder is a group called Nobis. Nobis is the largest industrial conglomerate in Ecuador. The lady who owns the business is best friends with the president. Our relationships in Ecuador are the best in the mining space. So we built a business where all of our employees are Ecuadorian. We have significant Ecuadorian capital on the line, and we're doing this to hedge our bets in Ecuador to maximize our success. We've got about 40 institutions on the register, and our retail network is growing as well. If anybody's on Twitter, I'm probably the most active mining CEO on Twitter. My handle is Adventus CEO, so hopefully I see some extra additions after this conference. So what is our project? The first 10 years of mine life is open pit. You can see there we've got a 6.5 million ton reserve, half in proven, half in probable. And you add up all of the metals there, that's 5% copper equivalent open pit. And then we've got an extra 5 years of an underground mine in years 11 to 15. So we've got a total of about 3 million tons there, also at 5% copper equivalent. Low elevation near the deepwater port of Guayaquil. We don't need to move anybody to build our mine. So this is a year-over-year representation of our metal mix and our grade. Year 1, 7% copper equivalent open pit. At today's metals prices, we'd be generating close to 100 million US of attributable free cash flow. And again, our market cap is in the 80s Canadian with 30-something in cash. Take you through a little bit of the project finance packages we put together in January. So we ran an extensive process to end up with Wheaton and Trafigura as our financiers. So it is a $180 million package with Wheaton. $175 million of that is the stream. If you take $1,700 gold and $22 silver, which is approximately where we are today, the cost of the stream is 4%. So in a rising interest rate environment, we are definitely hedged against interest rate hikes by doing this stream. Trafigura just sold their Matsa mine to Sandfire in Australia. They see a lot of similarities to our project, comparing Matsa and Curipamba. So they do have an offtake on our project. They're putting $10 million of equity in the company. Trafigura never does that. And we've got a $45 million senior debt facility as well. So we were able to raise, between these groups, $236 million versus a capital cost of $248 million. This is the highest leverage I've seen on a development project in my career, and we can do it because we've got 10 million tons at 5% copper equivalent. So our plans, we just did the project financing. We hired some of Kinross's best construction people. Some of these people were supposed to go to Russia to build their next mine. And fortunately, they're now with Adventus. So we have a very, very strong team. And we're in detail engineering, getting ready for construction to start later this year. So if all goes well, we're looking at commercial production in mid-2024. Exploration-wise, so we have a volcanic massive sulfide district. Our main project is a VMS deposit. Typically, VMSs occur in clusters. This is a district that was just recently discovered. Almost all of the activities and money were flowing into our main development project. We flew airborne geophysics for the first time a few years ago. About 15 targets in the district. We've just started to drill those new targets. My goal after these 15 years of production is that we can get the 10 million tons to hopefully 30 million tons and have multiple mines in a district. So exploration is definitely a big part of this going forward, and the production base can grow over time. We also have 2 porphyry districts in Ecuador called Pijili and Santiago. We're currently working with an Australian major to do a earn-in deal on one of them. That should be announced shortly. And then our best target is on a project called Santiago. In our view, this is the most exciting copper exploration target in the world. It has many analogies to Solaris's Warintza, also in Ecuador. So why are we excited about this project? You can see at the surface of this figure, there are some lines. Those are Newmont drilling results from the mid-90s. You can see those drill results in the bottom right table. So you have results such as 323 meters of 0.65% copper equivalent from surface. Newmont stopped the drilling at 325 meters. That's where they thought the ultimate bottom of an open pit was. All these holes ended in mineralization in the range of 0.7 to 0.8% copper equivalent. A few years ago, we did airborne geophysics for the first time, and you can see a large red blob shape, which looks like a wine glass, which is 3 kilometers across, 2 kilometers deep, and 2 kilometers in the page. You could fit billions of tons into that blob, and you know it's mineralized based on the Newmont drilling from the 90s. So we've got all of our permits. We're currently mobilizing for drilling, and our plan is to drill 3 1-kilometer holes, partially twinning the old Newmont holes, and hoping that we can drill 1 kilometer of hopefully 1% copper equivalent or better. So I hope to be able to add to the Solaris, Filo, Sol Gold type of success with this kind of high impact exploration project. So to conclude, we're the next copper mine to be built globally. We've put together the construction team. We've put together the project finance. This is going to be a very, very high margin project, lots of free cash flow generation to build a significant mining company. At the same time, we've got outsized potential opportunities for big, big discovery. So the investment thesis is we're super, super cheap based on our development project, which is going to be a mine. And we also have upside potential to potentially double, triple, quadruple the share price through exploration success. And I'll leave it there. Thank you very much.